I am sitting here with one of my absolute favorite people, the hilarious comedian, but also just one of my favorite philosophers? I don't know.
I don't either.
You're a trip.
Thank you.
You're like a genius on any topic. I love hearing you. You're like a jukebox, but instead of quarters, you put in drugs.
Yeah, please.
This is just something I don't see enough of on late night for my taste. I don't necessarily even want to have like a hilarious conversation. I want to get into it.
Let's do it.
Can we?
Yeah, where are the drugs?
How are you doing, man? I haven't seen you in ages.
I'm doing great.
Are you, what are you doing?
Well,
I was going to ask, are you doing drugs? Are you going on weird hippie trips?
definitely doing drugs. Definitely going on weird hippie trips. For sure. That's the story of my life.
You've been on my podcast twice. I've been on yours twice.
Yes.
I think our conversations are some of the most favorite conversations I've ever had in my life.
Thank you.
One of the things you said that changed my life was the thing about, it's like we're astronauts traveling in.
It's sort of like if you were an astronaut that got sent to a distant, distant planet, and the amount of time it took you to get there was how many billion years there are between the Big Bang and this moment right now. And to imagine that after that long journey, you're going to spend the 60 years you get to be in between nothingness, working in some crappy job, wearing a noose covered in polka dots. You know, people have to put on ties, and they're like,
covered in polka dots.
it's terrible.
And you said to me, you were like, if you were in this ship, your body,
Yes.
it's deteriorating
Yes.
slowly.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to touch, taste, lick, smell, everything you could?
Yeah, most everything you could. Some things avoid, like diapers, for example. Leave that out of the list.
You don't
But
want to smell or a diaper.
Or, yeah, lick a diaper.
I don't understand when hippies and the 60s and Enlightenment and Eastern philosophy started to become like a joke. Like it was something that we all just kind of moved away from, and now we're all, just drinking soda pop and watching internet porn and all that sort of stuff. When we used to be striving for like community, it feels like it was like shut down somehow.
Well, it's the same thing that happened with Christianity, which is that people started associating fundamentalist Christians like the Phelps family with the message of Christianity instead of going directly into the message of Christianity and realizing this is the most psychedelic, love-filled, revolutionary philosophy that exists on planet Earth. Same thing happened. It's like, and people see, they started, I think the hippies started getting into meth or something, and, the whole thing kind of fell apart, and you realize that, like, no, you have to take showers sometimes,
Right.
man. You can't just,
Right.
There's like a whole other side to this. There has to be balance, and that's why I love that, in the East, they refer to all the religions and all the different philosophies as vehicles. When you say something's a vehicle, you're saying this is a way to get from one
Right.
point to the next. It's not where you're supposed to sit. For
Right.
example, if you and I drive to the beach, once we get to the beach, we don't stay in the car. That would be weird. We're like, well, we're here. Let's just hang
Roll
out
up
in
the
this-
windows.
Yeah, roll up the windows. You get out and you go to the beach.
Yeah. You love Ram Dass, and
Yes.
he studied with
Maharaji, Neem Karoli Baba. Yeah, that is a fascinating story.
I love the stories you know about him. This is a guy that, tell whichever one you want.
What happened was, he was at this party and he took too many mushrooms. We've all been there. And then he went, and then he... Because you're like, what did I just do? Why didn't I just drink beer? I didn't want to dissolve into universal consciousness. I wanted to have a couple of good conversations and go home.
No, you're about to talk to God.
Sorry. This is like another person I'm really into right now is this teacher, Jack Kornfield, who's this incredible Buddhist teacher. And he's so good at articulating Buddhism in a really simple way. And, he just says, just sit down for 10 minutes and let yourself feel for a second. Like, so many people are just never letting themselves feel.
It's so funny that you say that, because that's something I've been going through lately, where my friends will be like, I have a hard time meditating. And I'm like, no one wants to meditate.
No.
It's the wrong word. It makes your dick go inside your body.
When I meditate, I have a bell that I hit, and I just realized a couple of days ago, like, why am I hitting this f***ing bell? Like, I have no reason to hit it. I just ring a bell. What am I doing?
I know what you're doing, because this is something also we've talked about, is that we're hungry for ritual.
Right.
We really are. I'm realizing the older I get, the more I go away from my traditional faith, the more I start to understand that, and this is from Richard Rohr, who I think you would love, all of those rituals are dress rehearsals for the true experience, which is constant communion.
Ooh, wow, that is cool.
We should talk about something else. They did this on Kimmel.
TV is getting really cool, man. It used to be that you just talk about golf and your baby or something. Now we can talk about this.
Duncan, thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Pete.
We'll do it
so
again.
much.
I think about those old Letterman shows, you know, when he was really early, and it'd have, you know, your Harvey Pekar and just like strange dudes. And I mean that in the highest compliment way. I just think that's such a fun element of
I
late
love
night.
it. Anytime, man. And Pete, can we please hang
Yes.
out when there aren't cameras?
Yes.
I miss you, man.
I miss you
understand
too.
Game of Thrones. Come watch Game of Thrones with me. Are you kidding?
Winter's coming.
Amelia Clark is coming.
Is she the hot one?
What?
She's hot?
She is the mother of dragons, Pete Holmes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Khaleesi, the mother of dragons.
You bear a dragon. I wouldn't want to go in there.
It would actually lay an egg, technically. A dragon wouldn't fly out of your pussy. That'd be incredible. Shit, that'd be incredible. Why didn't they do that in Game of Thrones? That would have been the most watched episode of all time. I would just watch it again and again and again to watch a dragon explode covered in barbarian placenta.
Do you have friends like this? I do.